ジタバタせずにコーヒーでも入れよう。
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, world. Hang on. Nev's here.
What's up?
Oh, good morning,
Hi,
Nev.
Nev.
How's it going?
Belated birthday.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah, happy birthday.
thank you.
How old you turn? 25?
Yeah, my ass. 42.
42?
Yeah.
That makes me, I'm still the old man. I'm 50.
Yeah, but
Rich, you're the baby, right? How old are you?
liver probably looks like you.
I'm going to be 41 this year. Damn.
All right. And Mike, what about you? You're
45.
42? 45. All right.
45, yeah.
Nice. So let's see who we got on here this morning. Starting short. Ray, how you doing, Ray? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, welcome to Coffee and Kaiju. We're just gonna do a little catch-up episode and talk a little bit about the new Bandai stuff that's coming. Pretty exciting. I know Mike's pumped about that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. Bandai, it's like a Bandai renaissance.
It really
Never
is.
And you never thought you'd see it, but somehow they're like, I don't know. They're like the hot Johns, as they say in Philadelphia.
They're never going to go away. They're always going to have their day.
Yeah. So, what's new with you guys? Rich, what's new with you, man?
Not much, man. September went by in a flash. I had a pretty busy month. Literally, it went by in a flash. So, I was actually down in Jersey for a week for work. So, I didn't do nothing but work pretty much until now it's October, and I'm hoping October goes by quick because I'll be in Japan at the end of the month. So,
oh, you're going to Japan? I didn't know that. Nice,
cool.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
That's about it for me.
Are you going to be there for? Are you going at the end of October, or are you going down for like Thanksgiving, like you did before?
So this year, I'm going with a buddy of mine. We're flying out November 1st. So by the time we get there, it will be the 2nd, and we'll be there till the 8th.
Okay.
So just a week in Tokyo. Next year, I'm planning to do Kyoto and Osaka.
Nice. That's good shit.
Yeah.
And then I saw you got some new goodies. So you got your posters hung, which they look nice.
Yeah.
Looks
so this is such a long time coming. I got 3 posters in front of me that are improperly hung, but those 2 I've had what I've dubbed the Bandai room, and I saw Felipe Sanchez. He's in a couple of Facebook groups. He got a couple of his Heisei films posters framed, and I'm like, you know what? That looks awesome. And you can't find frames for these dimensions for Japanese movie posters here in the United States. I went to Michael's. It's a local store, that I could just go in person, and they don't have anything that fits the poster dimension. So I got them custom made for the cheapest amount possible. I wasn't trying to spend a ton of money on them. I think both of them framed was like $215 together. But they came out great. I dig it. The Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla poster is signed by Megumi Yodaka.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yep. So I was like, I gotta protect that, for all intents and purposes. And then the Godzilla 2000 posters. I don't even remember when I bought those 2 posters. It's been a long time. And I still have a bunch of other ones that need to get framed. So those 2 went up in the corner. I don't have a photo of it, but on the left side of that display case, I had like some Walmart Godzilla 2014 poster that went up in that spot. And then, like we were talking a few minutes ago, below these posters, I'm going to get another display shelf of some sort to fit underneath it to put more Bandais because the shelf is full.
Yep.
But yeah, so I love how those came out. Very classy, just simple looking, right to the point.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yarp.
What's going on, Bobby? Thanks for joining. Good morning to you as well. Who else is here? Organs?
Which organ?
I don't know. All of the organs. And Monster Hunter also. Morning. And then Rich, you didn't review them on your channel yet, so spoilers for your channel. But you got and they've only released these 2 so far, right?
So far, yeah. So brand new 6-inch movie monster series, Bandai, Godzilla 2001 and Ghidorah 2001 from GMK. I'm actually surprised. Like, I feel like they were just announced like last week. I mean, it wasn't last week, but like
I know, it doesn't seem like
they turned these out fast. I was all like, damn. But I feel like they're mini clones of their 8-inch counterparts. They're definitely different sculpts, which is nice. But they kept their what's the word I'm looking for? The 8-inch vibe to them.
Yeah, they look good, I think.
Godzilla,
and I like how
Godzilla's pretty close to the original.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and I like how Ghidorah, his legs are more upright. His wings are a little bit pushed back rather than pushed forward like the 8-inch version.
He doesn't look as hunchy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That definitely gives the figure a little bit more dynamic, I think, and helps differentiate it from the 8-inch version. And Mike,
I'm looking at the 8-inch version on my shelf, and it's like the 8-inch version actually sits lower than the Baragon.
Yeah.
It's very
everything punched forward.
Yeah.
But like Mike and I were talking before we got our figures, the heads are bunched together. I was actually thinking like maybe like to get like hair dry them and
do this because that looks a lot better.
I think I was gonna put something between their necks so it cools like that. But it's not even a complaint, you know.
No, it's not that bad.
No. So
you got them too, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I got order mine today. I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, I'll probably order mine too. God damn it.
I really love the King Ghidorah. I think that's
it's a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be. It's really cool.
Worth the price of admission alone.
I think
it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And it looks great next to the 8-inch version. I posted a couple pictures on my Instagram, and and that was clearly the first time I seen them next to each other, as we just got them. But they complement each other very well.
Godzilla is really cool too. Love it.
Yeah.
I think it's like what they're doing. I feel like they're taking the originals and just tweaking the sculpts.
Real influencer joined.
That's a lot of easy lines.
God, what is it, like 5 a.m. out there? God, that's dedication.
7:30.
It's dedication to your hobby there.
Go back to sleep, Christine.
Organs Band. Okay, I've never heard of them, but I will.
You're still not telling us which organ though, dude.
The band of organs.
All of them. It's a band of organs.
Maybe they use organs.
Yeah.
Anyone planning on getting a Funko Gigan? Not a fan of Funko, but the Gigan looks cool. Is it a Showa Gigan?
Yeah.
Actually,
it looks a lot like the Megalon one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's a Funko Megalon?
Yeah, they're just all starting to come out. Megalon, Mechagodzilla, a whole bunch of different characters.
Yeah, doing all the Showa stuff, and then they did the minifigs. The minifigs actually kind of
no idea. I do not keep up with any of the Funko stuff. I have a couple that were given to me, but otherwise, I don't. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for joining. Nev, man, what's new with you, brother? It's been a while for you.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Work has been crazy.
I started a cocktail hour stream just for you, and you haven't been on one yet, you bastard.
I know we could be drinking now if you want. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I've been super busy with work, kind of kicking my ass. I haven't picked up a ton of stuff just because it's kind of hard to filter through all the new shit that keeps coming out. It seems like every 5 minutes or something new.
Yeah, it's a lot. But some of the stuff you sent me is awesome. So I'm assuming this was yours because I went through my photos. You got these, right?
That was mine. Yeah, I picked those up
Okay.
in like one week. I picked them all up. It's my first. Oh, it's not my first Sarajushi, but it's my first like larger format version. And then the two Giga Brains I pick up because they were pretty cheap. Although I may part with the purple glitter one, but it's just 62. You can't go wrong with those.
The purple glitter. That if you want to part with that one, let me know.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know. I gotta find the spot for them. I bought it because it was cheap, and I think I was drinking too, so I figured just throw a bid down, and I won pretty cheap. So
yeah, my Giga Brain stuff. I've other than the Ghidorahs, because I have 3 of those. I've said I'm only doing one of each of the other sculpts, but there's so many beautiful sculpts.
That's really hard to say that about Giga Brain.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful colors.
And then I got like 10 62s. It's ridiculous.
it is.
Yeah,
And like
you could easily just go insane and just have you could just have a wall of different colors.
It's such like a
Giga Brain.
beef sculpt too. Like it's hard not to hard not to buy them all. I've been trying to get some of like the Tokusatsu heroes, but fuck, those are so expensive, like Green Man and Godman and stuff. And I always lose, and they always go for crazy money. But
I never got those guys. I only ever got Zone Fighter. I never picked
I have
up
Zone
Green
Fighter.
Man.
Zone Fighter glitter just came out, but then they did a Godman glitter, and then there's a Green Man one, and I always lose them. But those are on my list.
Yeah, the price on those too isn't like outrageous.
They keep putting them out though every like other month.
Yeah.
That's why they're so
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
A new
So I mean,
sculpt
if you
would be
wanted to have
nice.
a wall up, you could. Yeah.
If you miss a Gigan or something, you know it'll come out sometime during the year, at least twice. So
Yeah.
Giga Brain at least gets you covered. You don't have to go crazy with the prices on those things.
And the vinyl is really good quality too, and so is the paint. So you obviously getting what you pay for a decent price. I can't say that for a lot of other new ones that are coming up, but
And then you got these guys, which are pretty cool.
yeah. So I threw down on the big Manarake auction. I actually won these guys pretty cheap. Some of the I think it's pronounced Miura, Pachi Kaiju in the top, and then some other little lower guys on the right I didn't have. But that was a really fun auction to watch. There was some crazy shit in there that very few people have seen from like the Pachi side of things. I know that bear got for like 32 grand or something crazy. But yeah, that was a crazy watch. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah. This thing's awesome.
Yeah, this is a bootleg from AliExpress in China. Someone had bought it, and I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's kind of goofy. I'll buy it. I thought it was like a smaller sculpt, but it's actually like freaking huge. I actually got it here. It's big.
Hang on, let me get you. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, it's big. It's not. It's big. It's like a Bandai vinyl quality. The paint's like dry brush a little bit. I mean, the eyes are dopey as fuck, but I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's
the
huge.
rest of it looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah. I think the actual like the paint work, especially on the dorsals, is awesome.
Yeah,
The face is it looks like they should have let the face cook for another day, but
yeah,
everything else looks really good on it.
It almost looks like a concept art from one of the art books. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it is.
Watch him end up looking like that in the next movie.
And then I got the bootlegs. There was 2 versions. I got the Shima, which is actually pretty nice. I mean, I know the premium comes out soon. I'm curious to see how that is. And then this wonky ass Kong I got with
the
his
Kong
face.
is hysterical, dude. I love that.
That's funny.
his face.
Yeah, the sculpt is pretty solid. The paint looks like my kid did it, but I mean, it's
Kind of
good.
looks like King Kong escapes with the beast glove.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say, dude. That looks like if Toho had done the legendary Kong.
Yeah,
in the 60s.
That's what it would look like.
and they were
It's
cheap, like 12, $15, and plus shipping. It's like, what else am I gonna do with that money? You know?
Yeah, I don't mess around with AliExpress. I mess around with Temu, so I wonder if they're on Temu. I'll have to check.
AliExpress is pretty good, man. They give you really solid tracking like every time the package moves. I've never
cool.
A bunch of times I've never had a problem.
Cool. That's cool. Mike, what's new with you, brother?
Not much. September flew by, like Rich said, but I think for me it's because I had COVID again.
Yeah.
So that killed a week. October. This is when life gets busy. Helena's birthday is coming up soon, and got a concert next week, and just stuff going on. So things are good.
Cool.
Glad I'm over the whole COVID thing. I don't want to get that again. So
Yeah. Well, you work
hard
with
when
kids.
you.
So.
That's I think one of my kids. Well, here's what's funny. One of my kids had it. I'm pretty positive that's what happened because we have four people who work in my classroom. One of them was on their honeymoon, and then all three of us got it. There was nobody running in my classroom for almost a week.
Oh wow.
It was crazy. There were just subs and whatever. It was
like Lord of the Flies in there.
All three of us got it at the exact same time. We were all home. So it was yeah. But
cool. Not cool.
No, not cool. But I got a week at
Yeah.
home, so that was fun. It helped me write more of my Bandai retrospective. I got a whole shitload of that done. So
you got to talk about those, like plans, future plans with that stuff or anything, Instagram thing.
Yeah, I'm like if whoever's following it, I'm almost done at the moment. I gotta figure out what might come next. My entire goal was just to hit 2007 because that's where my collection pretty much was complete up until, and that's kind of where Bandai stopped. So I was like, just going to stop there. But I have enough from the past just 2-3 years that I can just do a bunch of random shit because I don't have even close to, I don't even have a fraction of what they've done over the past 5-6 years. But I have enough that I have a whole bunch of shit up here that I could still talk about. But also now, like Rich said, what do I do with what I've done already?
Well, Godzilla Man 2000 just said, I was literally going to say this, and then I looked at the comments before I said it, and he literally said the same thing I was going to say. Because, dude, you can self-publish a book on Amazon. I don't even think it takes that much to do.
I'll have to you know what? That might be the most permanent way of doing it, just because then it's like I have a permanent copy of it. Because anything online could just disappear tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I did something stupid or some asshole decides to hack me, I could lose my account and lose every single thing I've ever posted. So
yeah, dude, I would buy a book. I would buy it. I mean, I don't think you're using the photos of the toys and stuff. I don't think Toho could do anything about that.
No,
I don't think
toys,
you could use the word like Godzilla or anything in the title of the book.
No, toy books. Like I think when Sean's toy book came out, it wasn't authorized. You didn't get
it's a reference book.
Yeah, it's a reference book.
Yeah.
You know what? That's kind of been playing that that around in my head. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do because, it's a lot of writing. It's not. I can write super fast, but it's still a lot of work. So I want to figure out what I want to do with that. I'd buy. Thank you, Godzilla Man 2000.
I would 100% buy it. I think that, like I said, isn't there basically a book that just somebody basically just took like Godzilla Wikipedia entries and published them as a book?
Yes.
I mean, you can.
Yes, you could publish anything now if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I agree. The more Godzilla books, the better. Yeah, physical books too. Like there's something about flipping through a book that's nice that you don't get from looking at something on a Kindle or like that. Even though that thing's out of date,
take or something.
Yeah,
that's just great for the pictures of the 80s and 90s stuff. Like, it's still great to have that book. I would want to do that just for me though. Like, I would just love having a copy of my own works. So anybody else who'd want it, that would be great too. But let's see where I go. I still have a little bit more to do, but it's nice to have a side project. I like writing, and it gets all. It's kind of like my own Bandai memoirs. It's like I kind of like want to get that stuff out because a lot of it is personal. So if I write it, it's like it's out there. I don't have to.
That's
keep
what
it
I
in my
like
head
about.
I think that if you added more personal stories to it, honestly, it even adds more to it. You know what I mean? Like your personal journey of collecting Bandais. Like it's an interesting story versus just a book of versus just a book of Bandai pictures with this came out in 2000. This came out in 1986. This came out you telling a story about it is more interesting.
Well, the more recent it gets, the harder it gets because what kind of story do I have about these figures? Well, I went on the Godzilla store site yesterday. And
I remember I got this guy off eBay.
And I was checking the tracking last night, and then I got it and opened it, and my daughter said, "Oh, Daddy, you got more guys." That's what happens when I get new stuff. I see the box on the dining room table, and Liz goes, "You got more guys," and Helena's like, "Yeah, what guys did you get today?" That's the story. Like, that's not a story.
Yeah. But the older stuff, the older stuff, I think, is where it's
where
it's really kind of interesting. Yeah,
I want to finish what my plan is to finish, and then figure out where to go from there. So
yeah, cool.
All right. So speaking of Bandai, do you want to talk about last weekend?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hang on. I got a few things too since we.
Oh,
last
sorry,
hung out.
Brian.
I think I actually opened some of these on the cocktail hour, but I actually got some decent pictures of them. So I got this guy, from Big Bad Toy Store, and it's pretty nice.
How much was that?
$30, I think.
That's Bam Presto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's cool. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's nice. I accidentally, when I threw out the packaging, I didn't throw out the box, but I threw out the cardboard that he came with, and there must have been a little piece for his tail to hold him up, because otherwise he tips back. So I think I threw that in the trash by accident. And then I grabbed this guy, which I guess is Bandai's take on the Defa-Reel stuff. But I mean, again, these are like $25 or something.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah, they're cool. They're not, they're nice for what they are. They're cool.
Bam Presto is cheap. It's like easy to buy a bunch of Bam Presto. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got this guy. I've had this guy forever, but I finally friggin' opened him up. And Rich can attest. He's awesome. Super cool.
Yep. I had the silver way, but yes, it's such a dope, dope concept that translates awesome into vinyl.
Yeah, he's cool as hell. And then other than that, I've just been kind of working on my collection room, getting it all done. I finished my bar almost. I got one last thing to do in the bar, and then it'll be done. And that's put a cabinet door on the cabinet. But otherwise, I got the bar pretty set up there. So yeah, it looks like that. So going with a kind of retro type theme with that. Yeah, that's me. That's what I've been doing. All right. So as Mike was hinting towards with Bandai, there is breaking news. Breaking news. It's actually not breaking anymore, but we can we'll pretend it's breaking news. We got the winners of the poll, which was conducted. When did the poll take place? How many?
Over the course of the past. When did they announce that poll? Was it last Godzilla Day?
Was it really like a year?
Oh, was it that long ago? Wow.
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
They announced it Godzilla Day last year, I think, and it's been almost a year.
Yeah, and they had 10 to pick from, and the top 5 are going to be made. Was the deal correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and 5 winners are. There they are.
Like, we're getting Gabber. Awesome.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Gabra and everything else is gravy.
Yeah.
I mean excited to see what they're going to do with Kamacuras.
I was just saying that's going to be interesting.
Really interested to see that.
Well, we already know what the King Ghidorah is going to look like. We've seen that.
Yep.
Yeah, the ones I'm interested in are honestly are we going to get a whole new sculpt for that? I mean, I guess we are, right? For the Anchors?
What? They gotta be. Like, come on. They're not going to use that old one again. That'd be such a waste.
It'd be cool if they had him standing up somewhat standing up would be kind of cool.
But considering how good their sculpting's gotten, the new Anguillas would look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Gabra, like Monster Hunter says, is a must buy. I also think that the Kamacuras is a must buy because I don't have a Kamacuras.
Right.
Bandai in my collection.
All of them are essential. I would have liked the 60s Rodan, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, a 64 King Ghidorah is pretty. I mean, honestly, yeah, they're all must buys probably. I mean, the Mechagodzilla, depending on the sculpt, that's not the flying one that we've seen, right?
No, this is going to be.
So
this is a completely different Mechagodzilla.
The only 74 Bandai Mechagodzilla is the 8-inch one from he's in the early 90s.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, they're all pretty much they're all must buys. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 6-inch Mechagodzilla is a 75. So this is going to be a new sculpt of the Mechagodzilla 74.
I mean, we've had 4 of these guys before, but all of these sculpts are from the early 90s or back. So they desperately, all of them need to be redone.
Yeah. I think it's pretty exciting news. Like, especially like you said, the Gabra is awesome. Like, who would have thought that they would have done a Gabbler figure? So
they've got to bring
cool.
their A game to that thing, though. I really hope they knock it out of the fucking ballpark, because if they phone it in, I'm going to be so pissed.
Well, it's weird because like even that minion they just did, that last minion was actually really well done. And then they got some figures with like some paint. So I agree with you, Mike. That paint's gonna be flawless on that figure. It's gonna look like a fucking turd.
Because it better be the right color. The hair better be the right color. It better look just like him. Because Bandai can do that. Bandai can make their figures look just like the monsters.
It's gotta be that like, bright turquoise, not that last Manda green. The Final Wars Manda green, which was terrible.
Yeah. Here, look, peer pressure in action.
I mean, I'll just be happy to have
it. Is literally what I only plan on getting.
Well, I don't think you're gonna have a choice.
Gonna get it.
I've heard it's gonna be a box set though.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard. Maybe I'm wrong, but that kind of makes so you don't have a choice.
I mean, pricing on that. What do you think the pricing on those is going to be? Because the stuff that's up for pre-order in the Godzilla store, I think those are all like $25-$30 for the ones that are currently up for pre-order.
I'd say $150, $65, something like that.
I think they're like 30. The ones in the Godzilla store I think are 35, because I ordered the Cybot and the Flying Mechagodzilla, and those were 35.
Yeah, so me and Rich are talking about.
So you take 35 times it by 5, but you also are going to have to add the shipping of the box.
Yeah.
Which, thanks to that King Ghidorah, is probably going to be higher than you'd expect.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, me and Rich were talking about those Bandais. They're pretty nice. I mean, 2 of them I can do without. The Bagan, I don't care. I've already got the other one. That does nothing for me. The Cybot is a buy.
Yeah.
Like you said, even though he looks like he's like, hey, how's everybody doing? But he's a little muppety.
It's cool they did it though. I'm glad it exists.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
It looks like a Muppet.
They saw what X Plus did, and they're like, we want to do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's already out in Japan, which is insane. So like they announced
this week
it, and
already came out.
Oh really?
The flying one is either out or coming out soon.
It's out. No, it's out already.
It's out. And the 74 should be out next week.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff's already coming out.
All right.
Yeah, there's a guy I follow on Instagram that gets one.
Yeah, the Flying Mechagodzilla is great. That's just super cool. And then this guy,
it's the exact same thing. I think we've already got nothing different about it. So I didn't pre-order it because there's no point. I've already got it.
That will be the third issue of the 74 then. The Memorial Box, the tag version, and now this one, right?
Yeah. Well, the Memorial Box one was the disguised Mechagodzilla, which is still pretty much the same thing, but
it's the arm patch.
Different arm.
The flying one gives you some idea how the standard one should look like, as terms of color and paint, at least.
Yeah,
but it does look good.
The Godzilla YouTubers and movieviewers is the best YouTube. I agree.
Sure, why not? We'll go with that.
Yeah.
And then we got the next poll.
Yes, so the next poll, and they're going to make 5 from this poll too, correct?
I'm not sure. I had said that, and people were like, "Where are you getting that info?" And I'm like, "Maybe they're not." Okay. See, I saw the 5 at the top there on the left, but I think it just means it's the 5th poll, because it is the 5th poll. So I think they're just doing one. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I really want Giant Condor to win.
Correct.
Yeah, so do I.
The
Dorat's probably going to win.
I bet the Orga is going to. Every kid, every time they come up to our table at G-Fest, do you have an Orga? Orga.
Oh, really?
It depends on what the Japanese collectors vote for. I don't think they're going to vote for Orga, though.
I don't think so either. They're probably going to vote for fucking a Dorat or destroy Nesu Gita or whatever the fuck his name is.
Well, the ones I've been seeing people talk about the most have been Giant Condor and Flying Space Godzilla. And for some reason, a lot of people are like, they really want that Eternal Mothra figure.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't understand why, but that would be my last one that I'd even want.
So the first 3 options we got, that's OG Rodan.
Yeah.
Right. Not the 64 or
I'd be happy with that though.
Yeah, OG Mogera, however you say it. And of course the awesome giant condor.
Hero.
How do you think they would do that?
Little giant condor?
Would it be like oversized? Because I can't imagine it being in scale. It'd be
Yeah, I don't
smaller
know.
than the
I almost
tab.
feel like they threw that in there as like a joke pick because it's just so
who's going to
ridiculous.
vote for it? But people are voting for it. People are excited about the possibility.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So those are the first three choices, and you got Showa King Caesar, Mechagodzilla 2 with his head removed, which is a pretty cool idea. And
but that would just be the original 2002 figure with no head. You know that's how they're going to do it.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want that winning because it's like you can customize something like that.
Yeah. And then the last four, I'm assuming from that photo, that's the Space Godzilla. It would be the flying Space Godzilla.
Yeah.
That they're going to do. And then Descadora, Eternal Mothra, and Orga. So, if I was going to rank them, my first pick would be Giant Condor, probably followed by then followed by the OG Rodan.
Yeah, we really need an OG Rodan in the monster movie series.
Because the one that we have is it's so old. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. King Caesar with the ears up is definitely awesome. There's another King Caesar.
I mean, the original Bandai figure had ears up, so I would think this would be a brand new sculpt.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be awful. I'd take it.
Oh, what's also interesting? We don't have any 64, 65, 68 Rodan.
No.
Bandai. It's the 856. So maybe we'll see that on the pipeline.
Yeah, that is true. And then we have the show or the Heisei and the Final Wars. But that's it. Interesting. I wonder why.
They're avoiding Rodan for whatever reason. Like Rodan keeps showing up in these polls, but it never wins.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe Rodan's just not.
I don't think he's as he is here.
Huh? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, no one
did they do a legendary Rodan? Did Bandai do a legendary?
Yeah, but it looked like shit.
Yeah, it looked terrible. It looked like a fucking boomerang.
All the legendary 2019 figures look terrible. All those Bandais.
The Mothra was the worst.
Yeah. Godzilla cartoon sci-fi horror. That's okay. As a Bandai guy, I'm hyped for anything Bandai. Hell yeah, man, Bandai. How would they scale the Dorats? Hopefully, just big. Like I mean, it would just be a big, cute.
You know what? I could picture it being the size of the Godzibon figures.
That's what I would
like that.
One of those.
Oh yeah, maybe.
From that,
maybe about as big as that.
Yeah,
but you have to get three of them. You got to buy three.
That's what sucks about if it's a box set. You couldn't buy 3 Kamacuras figures.
Which blows. Like, they should just sell the 3 as a box set, I guess, a premium and be done.
Who knows? They might do that later.
Yeah.
Never know.
Different paint job or something.
Leslie with a question. In regards to next year's anniversaries, what pieces are you all wanting to see come out? Anything from Monster Zero, Destroya, Frankie versus Baragon, Terror of Mechagodzilla, etc.? Yes to all.
Well, Bandai hasn't really been... Toho and Bandai haven't been celebrating Heisei anniversaries, which is really weird. Like, you'd think they haven't made a big deal about it. Only the Showa stuff is really getting the dedicated anniversaries. They get the pins, the T-shirts, the patches, those little icons with their faces on them, but it's all been Showa. I don't think they're going to do, like, non-Godzilla films either. Like, if anything, we'll get Monster Zero and Terror of Mechagodzilla. But that might be it.
A Monster Zero set would be nice, you know. I mean, you could do the Godzilla doing his little victory dance as a figure. Yeah. That might be cool.
Or just give us the Rodan.
Yeah, really. Godzilla Man. Why can't they make them all instead of voting? And then Rich, me were talking about this earlier. Like, Rich seems to think, and I kind of agree, that they are probably just gonna make them all eventually.
Well, the year
that they showing up in the polls.
The year they
did, like the polls have repeated some of the figures.
The
So
year that Varan came out, every single thing on that poll ended up getting made anyway.
yeah,
In 2022, Varan won, but everything else, there was a what else was on there? Titanosaurus. There was, I think, a Minya on there. There was a Rose Biolante or something like that. But all of them got made regardless. So it doesn't really matter. I think at this point.
Was there as many figures to vote for on that one than this one?
No, I think it was 10.
It was 10. Okay.
Hold on. And if you give me a moment, I will find it.
I couldn't remember. I thought that there was a lot of figures to vote for on this one, especially if they're only going to make one. That I just assumed that however order they're going to make, that's what they're going to release them on. So if like Giant Condor wins, that's the first one, and then the next one, and so on. And so.
Oh, okay. So here's the last year's, the one where Rose Biolante won. Okay. There was 55 Anguillus. We got him. King Ghidorah. We got him. Gabra. We got him. Titanosaurus. They reissued him. Death Ghidorah. He's on the next poll. Zilla. We got him. So, and the year before when it was Varan, there was Ibra. We also got him. Super Mechagodzilla, we got him. Monster X and Kaiser Ghidorah, they also came out.
Yeah.
So it's basically Bandai just trying to see what the interest is. I think all this stuff's going to come out eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You're probably right.
They got a
market.
market. They
Yeah,
know
it's
they
like
have
marketing,
a market right now.
free
So.
free marketing. Yeah, I mean,
I think something changed in that, like, they were doing a lot of retail figures last year and very few Godzilla store. And I think they suddenly realized, you know, like, that's not working out for us. Why don't we just make a whole ton of crazy shit for the store and only put out, like, the biggest stuff for retail? So, look, from this year to last year, we're getting so much Godzilla store stuff and very little retail stuff. But that's working out just fine, because otherwise we wouldn't be getting what we've been getting. Because with some of this stuff, sell it at Toys R Us in Japan? Probably not, but we're eating pretty good now.
Yeah, we are. I know, it's nice. Nice. Don't forget, in 4 years' time, with the 50th anniversary of Godzuki. Yeah, that means we're going to get a deluxe 4K Blu-ray set of the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon probably in 4 years. If
What company owns that? Is that Warner Brothers?
I don't. Yeah, I wonder who even owns it.
I think it's Warner's because it's Hanna-Barbera. So I think it's, yeah.
Yeah, the rights have probably reverted. Who knows? Would y'all love a UFO Monster 0, 1, or 2? Hell yeah. That would probably
they could totally do a Godzilla that was like all curled up, and then they could redo it for a Smog Monster.
Yeah. Yeah,
have
they
it
could.
as the Flying Godzilla.
Yeah.
I think the Flying Mechagodzilla and the Hedorah evolution figures really opens the door for like crazier shit. Like we could get a flying Gigan or a flying Megalon. How nice would that be?
Yeah,
cool. That'd be a bitch to stand because he's got the belly saw. You know, I don't know how it would work.
That's true.
Unless you need one of those.
Just put a string up on the rafters and let him fly.
Yeah, hang him up.
Yeah. I mean, or battle damage figures like a 71 Godzilla.
Yeah.
With the sludge eye and the bone hand. I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
I feel like a year ago we couldn't have this conversation, but now all of a sudden we can actually dream about it because it's possible now.
It may come true, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. So yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty psyched for this. That's pretty rad. You can vote for these right on the Godzilla store, correct?
Yeah.
So
that just leaves the last show of Godzilla characters who appeared in a film with Godzilla who haven't been done are now it's Manda and Kumonga. That's it. If they could do those, then we've got everybody from a Godzilla movie, from a Showa Godzilla movie. That's the only two we need.
Yeah, and a Kumonga would be really nice too. It's weird that they've never done.
And he's never shown up in a single poll. Last five years in a row, Kumonga has not come up. So I wonder what the deal with him is. Why they haven't really thought about him.
They don't like spiders.
I wonder if it's a lot of vinyl too for that.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's extra work for the legs.
Let's see how Kamakura comes out.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not fragile. I know
and any Manda's got to be better than this one.
Yeah, I don't even think I got that thing.
I got this because someone gave it to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, a cool Manda would be good. I mean, do the Manda wrapped around the Atragon or something. Or the Gotengo.
Something.
I misspoke. Yeah, YMSF.
I would like the 68 Manda, but I would take the Atragon one in a heartbeat. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, YMSF has been filling in a lot of the holes on people's Bandai collections for like years, but
I've got that Kamunga that
it's
you just
yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah, their
And
stuff's
I've
hit and miss. Some of their stuff's great, and then some of their other stuff, it's just really not well done. I mean, I think recently their stuff's a lot nicer than some of the older stuff. And his prices have dropped down a lot too compared to what his stuff used to be really overpriced. I felt like.
I feel like
I
he
mean,
must
it's
just
kinda
sit in his
like-
garage making toys all day because Bandai
Yeah, I'm telling
announces
you, he's a
something,
nice
and then all of a
guy.
sudden his version comes out. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bandai's doing this guy. Well, here's mine.
Yeah, I think he's got an inside scoop on something because every figure that he's put out has either been on a poll afterwards or it's straight up come out. I mean, look at Gabra. He just did a Gabra, now it's on the poll.
I mean, he did a Zilla right around the time Zilla came out. The
Yeah,
Bandai
Zilla,
one. Like,
yeah.
that isn't a coincidence.
Yeah. And they did like the cyber version of it, or he's going to do the Mecha Zilla version.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It looks awesome.
Oh, from the cartoon, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Zilla, the Bandai Zilla, I guess that we should be seeing that soon. I would imagine.
It was supposed to
I
come
got
out
it.
last month, but it got delayed.
Yeah.
This is what you,
I got mine from Japan store, so I got it already.
I don't mind
Oh,
the
you did?
wait.
Yeah.
I
How
don't mind
is
the
it? Is
wait.
it a
I don't
Pizza
like
Night?
it being delayed. That's all.
I don't know where the fuck it is, but
And,
I mean, it's,
and the Roaring -1 too was delayed for the American Bandai store.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a decent. Oh, there he is. It's a decent figure. I mean, it's cool to have, even though the TriStar version sucked. It's great what they did with him in the Final War. So, like, if you get it for whatever,
Yeah.
$35, it's not.
Also, it's a toy of a Toho monster they haven't done before in the
Exactly.
Bandai line. So even though I don't care for it, it's like, well, I don't have Zilla.
Hang on,
I need Zilla. So
hang on, I gotta get him now. Now it's
I
pissing
don't
me.
care what I think of Final Wars. If they do a monster I don't have as a Bandai figure, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent figure.
It looks
It's got metallic, a slight
It
metallic
looks
spray on him. Oh, fuck. Hang on. There you go. Slight metallic spray, like his dumb face. Like, I don't know, my camera sucks, but I mean, compared to the size, like here's, it's decent.
But he was smaller than Godzilla anyway.
He was. So again, for the price, I mean, you got the tag. I took the Final Wars tag and then his like Dreamcast looking graphics on the fucking tag. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, how good could that figure possibly be when it was a CG render?
and
I mean,
a
it's
whole-
fine.
CG, yeah. It looks like the figure itself looks like a CG rendering from 2000.
2004.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how-
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's how it should look. So like, why complain?
Yeah.
I just don't like that it was delayed. I'd rather get it soon. But
Yeah. Speaking of delayed, the that Mondo set has been delayed. The Gabara and Godzilla and Minya set was delayed till like December. I think I got an email about, which I mean, whatever. That set looks awesome. I'll happily wait for that thing.
I was gonna ship.
I didn't
Yeah,
order one of those, but now I don't feel as bad because I'm getting a Bandai Gabara anyway.
Yeah.
But we won't have a Minya to go up with it because the Minya they did is so much
The
bigger.
Minya's out of scale. Yeah, it's
That's
way
a
out of
shame.
scale. Yeah. What monster do y'all want to see make an appearance in the next Godzilla short on Godzilla next month? Oh,
I would assume it'd be
mean,
Mechagodzilla.
yeah.
But
I didn't
last
realize they were
year
doing
we
another
heard-
short.
But last year we heard about the Jet Jaguar costume, and the year before we knew about the Gigan costume. This year,
Yeah, we haven't
they've
heard
been
anything.
quiet, so maybe they aren't doing one.
Yeah.
It's probably
I
gonna
don't
be a
One
month thing or something.
because if it was coming out, we'd know about it because it's like a month from now, not even.
Yeah, if they were going to continue it along the lines of what they were doing with the Megalon and the Gigan one, I would assume it'd be King Caesar, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I hope we
So-
don't get like a ton more Bandai stuff on Godzilla Day reveals because I can't keep up with this.
As I know for Godzilla Day, and I forget where I read it. I believe it's supposed to be a continuation of last year's short, but I only read one thing somewhere for that.
Oh, you're right. Because the last year's
Couple
short
months
ended
ago.
with Godzilla and Jet Jaguar teaming up against King Ghidorah.
Again,
Yeah.
King Ghidorah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then there was a teaser poster a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week or two ago, for Godzilla Day. And it looks like it's going to be in multiple locations. So the first location was to be Hibiya Park in Ginza, where the Shin Godzilla statue is. And I haven't seen anything announced for near the Hotel Grisserie in Shinjuku. at the moment, but the poster does say something about multiple locations for Godzilla Day for his 70th. So TBA on that.
Cool.
You know.
Big Ken. What's up, Big Ken? You didn't miss anything. Well, you did miss Nev did a striptease to start the show, so
Can't do it again.
It's not going to be on the replay either. It was a one-time live.
Director's
had to
cut
be
only.
there to see it. Yep. If you join Nev's Patreon, he'll send it to you.
40 grand a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. You can't afford it.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Maybe you hadn't jumped on yet. We're all happy about it, I think, is the general consensus. Although it does have a very, as happy as we are about it, he looks really happy about it. So because he's got a very happy expression on his face. But
I want to see it
yeah.
more angles. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a good angle for it. I mean, no matter what, it's a definite purchase. I love that movie. The Cybot's cool.
Yeah,
it was a cool idea at the time, even though wasn't executed the best. But yeah, it looks cool. He definitely looks a little Muppety, though. He looks a little Muppety there.
What's cool about the 84 love is that we went for like almost ever without having anything other than the Bandai original figure, the 84 figure from 84.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about model kits, but I don't think until as far as vinyl figures go, there was the Marmot Monster Heaven that came out, and then what else? The Memorial Box in 2004. So
there's another
84 love now.
That was the Memorial Box was like the first one after the original Bandai because the Monster Heaven one was after that.
So that was
Cybot too, which was cool.
Yeah, but was smaller. When was that?
That little medium-sized Marmot one, I think that was like 2003-4. Yeah,
that's
that one too.
Cybot, even though it's like a weird scale, it's like a bigger than a Parababy, but smaller than a Monster Haven, so it's weird.
Yeah, but we still don't have a lot of 84s. It's like just only recently they've been doing more of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the movie came out, and you would think because there hadn't been a Godzilla movie for 9 years prior to that, and then there was also not another Godzilla movie for another 5 years after that, that there would have been some sort of marketing push for that figure, but there really wasn't.
Do a Biolante figure in '89.
Yeah,
or in '89.
But you did get Godzilla. A lot of. Yeah, well, yeah, but I feel like but then the Heisei stuff is, it came out, and then that was the only Godzilla you saw. So that 84 Godzilla was kind of a forgotten figure, and like it was almost a forgotten movie for a long time too. I mean, it's streaming now on Max, or is it on Max?
Max and the Criterion streaming channel, so you can see it as long as you don't. You have to pay for the streaming service, but you can see it.
Yeah.
What I think what happened in Japan is I don't think the fans of the 90s films really factor 84 in because it's not part of that series, I think, in terms of their nostalgia. And I think it's
in a weird
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in a weird like Godzilla purgatory. It's not a Showa movie, and it's not quite a Heisei movie. It's just kind of its own thing,
Like it wasn't made in the Heisei era, even though it's part of the Heisei series. But it's just old enough that people who grew up with like the 92, 93 films didn't grow up with that. So it's kind of in a weird place, I think.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I think that kind of covers everything we wanted to talk about. Let's go. We can get into the comments. So I'll throw some stuff out that we've been talking about. And so we've been doing the cocktail hour, which we're going to do another one this month. Hopefully Nev can get on it this time.
And then, not to interrupt Brian, but I think we should schedule something for right after Godzilla Day because we're going to have things to talk about with that for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Whatever the third is in Japan. Actually, the third, would be the second because the third is the day after in Japan. So on the second, we should find out all this stuff, whatever they're doing
late at night.
Oh, Rich will be in Japan though.
He's going to be our man in Japan.
Yeah, but we should still try to do something for the beginning of November for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like to do a cocktail hour before the end of this month, at least one. I'm thinking, and I don't know what the best format to do it on would be for. So I don't know if we should do it on the cocktail hour or if we should do it on Coffee and Kaiju. But I think what I would like to do is set up a Gmail email address and open it up to people to send in photos of their collections and their collection displays or their display rooms or whatever they have. And we'll pick maybe 1 or 2 per episode and just kind of like not like really review it, but just kind of show it and maybe offer our thoughts on it. So I don't know if you guys think that would be cool or
this sucks. You should get it.
Yeah, no, right? This is the worst collection I've ever seen.
You should be in bed.
Sell it.
But and limit it, like you can't, just limit it to like maybe 6 pictures per person. Not, it can't have like 100 photos of your collection room or anything.
I'd even say 3 pictures, man. That could get
something like that. And we can just kind of like
every shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it would have to be like an overall view. Versus like individual like sections of shelves. You know what I mean? Because then it would be,
Just give us.
But I think that'd be kind of
need like specifics.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty fun though. It's something to do while we're drinking a bit. So yeah, if y'all think that would be something cool, let us know. It would probably, like I said, I would probably just set up like a Gmail account specifically for it instead of like Godzilla Man said we could just do it over Messenger. But I feel like if it was sent through email, it would be way easier to keep track of who sent it and everything.
Yeah, if you just start getting random things with Messenger, it's hard to keep track.
And if you're not friends with somebody with Messenger, sometimes you don't even get the message. It goes into like some other folder, and so it's like a whole thing. So
Quest folder, and then you have to go check that out.
Yeah. So look, Leslie, with all the questions today, do y'all think since next year's before the anniversary of Godzilla? No, I do not.
Probably not.
I wish we would get a release of it, but I don't think we'll ever get an official release of Godzilla 85.
No, I think
it is lost in
the that's done.
Yeah,
but the Toho version, the 4K, should come out at some point. I think they have it mastered, so maybe.
Well, of 84, but not 85.
Yeah, not the Burr one. Yeah,
85 is. I think 85 is lost. Like not lost because you can find it, but lost in the sense that it's never going to get an official release.
Toho doesn't want the American versions out there, so why would they're not going to want this one either? So that's the end of that.
Exactly. Yeah, and honestly, free plug if you're interested in Godzilla 1984 and 1985, there's a Coffee and Kaiju dedicated to the movie and the collectibles of the movie. So you should go check that out after you watch this. Just spend your whole day watching Coffee and Kaiju videos. Yeah, it was fun.
You could now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree. I love seeing how people display their stuff because I love stealing ideas from people. Honestly, like that's the best. It's the best way to figure out how to set your collection up is by see what other people have. Nev, I've never fully seen like how yours is set. Like when you got up to get that Geno figure, I had no idea it was such a big space back there.
It's my but like it's like 90% Godzilla and then 10% mixed random shit.
Yeah, you crack me up because you'll post stuff. You'll be like, I gotta sell all this stuff. I don't have enough room. And then like 4 days later, you're like, look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff I just got.
Yeah, I have been selling a lot of stuff actually. I just been parting off like one-offs I don't really need, or I'm gonna list a bunch of other stuff for sale. But it's been going. It's been selling. People are buying because I got money. So
yeah, there's a toy show going on today that I usually go to. It's like 25 minutes from my house, and I was like, I'm either going to do this or I'm going to do that. And then I was like, it's for the best that I don't go to the toy show. So I'm just going to do this today.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of toy shows popping up and it's like either always the same vendors or it's like a weird mishmash of like we'll have laying around the house. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You do tend to see the same people at the shows all the time. So, but it's always fun to look. I don't really buy a lot of those. I do love to look around though. Has there been any news regarding any future Toho 4K UHD discs? No.
Nope. The only the last 2 films that were transferred that have not gotten disc releases were Megalon and 84, and those aired last year, and they have not. There's been no word on it. So maybe the 4Ks didn't sell well last fall, or maybe Toho's waiting. But if they were coming out soon, I'd know about it. So they've been silent, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So,
all right. One last question before we wrap this up. Speaking of the Godzilla Heisei series, do y'all think the era is aged well over time or not? We could probably do a whole episode dedicated to this topic. But
We probably
the quick
could.
answer for me is no. It has not aged well
me
over
too.
time.
I still find myself enjoying Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla
That's the best
Yeah, me
one.
too.
most of the Heisei films. So I feel like that one holds up the most.
I think that one holds up because that's also the most straightforward of any of those movies. It's just your basic. It's
action,
almost
action
structured
monster.
like a Showa. Yeah, it's structured like a classic Godzilla movie. There's not 300 characters to keep track of. The actual the fights and the effects for the fights are really well done. The score is
the best in the
fucking
series.
ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. Great story, honestly.
The story's good. The power up scene still to this day is like the first time I saw that power up scene, and I was watching a bootleg from Video Daikaiju that was not subtitled. I had no idea. I had no idea why he was powering up, but I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in any Godzilla movie ever I think I rewound that like 6 or 7 times and was just like, it's still epic to this day. The music, that whole sequence is freaking fantastic.
Yep.
And then they went and tried to do it again in Space Godzilla, and it had none of the impact in Space Godzilla that it does in Mechagodzilla.
No. For me, the Heisei films, especially if you read my Bandai post, it's like a lot of it's just my love of those films are just tied up in being just younger and buying the toys and everything. So I have like crazy nostalgia, but then when I go to sit down and watch these movies, except for Mechagodzilla, they haven't held up.
No.
Yeah,
my love of them comes from nostalgia, and that's pretty much it. Like every time I try to there was one time I tried to just watch all of them, and I got like a couple into it, and not really doing it for me.
Yeah, like when Rich came to visit, we put on Godzilla versus Biollante, because it was the weekend that Satsuma had passed away. Yeah. So we put that on, and even I think like 20 minutes into that, we were just shooting the shit, not really even paying attention to it. You know what I mean? Like they're all. I think they're the kind of movies that in your head you remember them really fondly, but like you said, like once you actually put it on and sit down, I find myself like on my phone or whatever, and I don't really find that as often with the Showa stuff. And like when I put on Pluto TV, if it was a Heisei movie, 90% of the time I would just flip it back off. If it's a Showa movie, even if I'm not really going to pay 100% attention to it, I'll just leave it on, but I just have really no interest in most of the Heisei movies.
And I've tried so hard over. Go ahead, Nev. I'm sorry.
I think they've aged better than the 2000 movies, though, for sure. Like those are, I can't.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the nostalgia factor, like you said, Mike. I could watch the Heiseis and put them on in the background and check my phone or do whatever. But those 2000 ones, man, those are rough to get through.
Especially the Mothra trilogy. Like that Mothra trilogy is unwatchable. Unwatchable garbage.
I wish they wouldn't even play those because it's just it's 6 hours that you're not watching.
Yep.
That
and they're on again today. They were on last night, and I flipped it on this morning, and it was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 was finishing up, and then it was the 3 Mothra movies in a row again. Yep. Like, dude, why do they keep showing these Mothra movies on this channel? I hate them.
This is in from like $1.50 for 10 years.
No Bandai really wants to make those figures.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I've tried over the years to get people to watch the Heisei films, and it never works. Like nobody responds. Whether I was a teenager or an adult, like nobody responds to them. Like my wife barely got through them. Helena won't watch them. It's just like, I don't know.
Well, another problem with those movies is that the Showa movies, the effects look of their time, but not bad for their time for the most part. Yeah. Some of the 70s movies have bad effects for their time, but the 60s movies, the effects creative for their time. Yeah, and they're creative effects. The problem with the Heisei movies is that these are movies that look, for all intents and purposes, modern, but the effects do not look modern at all. And some of the effects are lazy, like Mothra's wings flapping, or any flying creature's wings flapping in the Heisei movies is just embarrassing. Like they did that better in the 60s. Like
I hate how when Rodan flies over the city, he's flying as slow as a Macy's balloon, but things are blowing up anyway. It's That's not even the least bit realistic.
The designs, because the designs of the Heisei Kaiju are really well done. They don't match the action that they're doing.
No.
And
yeah. And they gave a lot of them just generic roars, which is also annoying. like changing King Ghidorah's roar in the Heisei series made no why change his roar?
And then giving the same roar to Batra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah.
So that when Rodan
all
finally
very
showed up,
generic.
We've heard it.
Yeah. So see, I told you we could do a whole episode on this. Except it'd probably be people would hate us because all we'd be doing is bashing the Heisei.
And
I mean,
aside from the opening and the end, I can't even watch Destroyer anymore. Like the entire middle of that movie is just a whole load of nothing. Like that movie is so manipulative that the opening and the closing is enough to make you think it's a good film.
Yeah.
But when you try to watch everything but those two sequences, it's just this is just nothing going on. Why do people think that one's a masterpiece? You see it all the time. The younger fans,
because of the ending,
best film, my favorite movie ever, masterpiece, best cut. It's like no, it's not. You just cried at the end, so you think it's good.
It just tricks you at the end because it's emotional at the end, and it is a solid ending of that movie. It's
a great ending. It's a great ending. I love that ending, but the rest of the film, no.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it for this episode. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Rich, got anything you want to plug real quick?
I still got a pretty busy month of October, so just as far as reviews go, I will get to them when I can get them. Clearly, as we come into the winter time, the outside chores will go into hibernation, so I'll have more time inside. When I'm in Japan, I'm gonna attempt to film some stuff. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. This is really just a vacation that I need. It's not necessary. It's not at all geared around Godzilla stuff or whatever. Mostly going because I want to eat. I'm not gonna lie. Nice. I'm going with a buddy of mine that I've known for about 17 years, and we're kind of just pinpointing a couple, sections of Tokyo. We're just gonna wing it, and whatever happens, happens. As far as if I film anything or not. Definitely get a toy shopping to some degree.
Nice.
But if I film some stuff, stay tuned till later in November for that. Other than that, good to go.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool, man. Cool. How about you, Nev? Anything?
I got nothing, man.
I love you.
I got nothing. I'm just gonna keep buying toys.
Keep everyone's expectations low. Then when you do something, it's amazing. That's my motto.
Yeah. I hope I can make this cocktail hour for sure. But that's pretty much
cool.
it.
How about you, Mike?
I'm just plugging away with my Bandai retrospective. So I'd like people to just keep reading them and give me feedback. So they're on the Godzilla Collectors group and Collect All Monsters because I want to get as many eyes on it as I can, which has been working out in my favor. Again, I want to do something bigger with it, but as long as people keep checking it out, let me know what they think because feedback helps me a lot figuring out what people want to hear about. And other than that, not much else. Just,
Cool. Yeah, everybody should check out those things, though. They're really well written.
They're
they're really good.
I mean, I just spent the week doing like a 7 part on the 2004 Memorial box. I broke it up into like 6 parts. So that was my week. So that was awesome. I think that turned out pretty good. It's all downhill from there, though.
All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We do appreciate it. StreamYard is who we use for this, and they have set something up where apparently it'll automatically play our outro. I don't know how it works. I haven't done it yet. So I'm going to hit end stream, and either it's going to go black, the outro is going to play, or we're all just going to be sitting here looking at each other for another 30 seconds till I actually play the outro physically. So it's all going to be an experiment that we're all going to take part in together. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to Rich's channel. Like and subscribe to Nev's channel. Do you have a channel, Nev? Just like and subscribe to Nev's life. All right.
Just like me in general. That's all.
Just like Nev. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your weekend. The Eagles don't play this weekend, so I will be in a good mood. Bye.
Here's Cal.
Oh, wait. Bye. Oh, look, it's giving me an option. Play outro and end stream. Thank you, StreamYard, for making my life easy.
How about some coffee?
Coffee? I like coffee.